Disgraceful, pastor kicks Kier STAMMER out of church today. In a shocking display of intolerance and betrayal, Pastor John Smith has evicted Labour leader Kier STAMMER from his church, igniting a firestorm of controversy that raises profound questions about faith, politics, and the very nature of community in Britain. This unprecedented act not only undermines the values of inclusivity and acceptance but also highlights a dangerous trend where political leaders are denied basic rights to spiritual refuge. The implications of this incident stretch far beyond the church's walls, resonating through the very fabric of our democracy. Critics argue that this incident is not just a personal affront to STAMMER but a symbolic rejection of the democratic principles that underpin our society. Once in a generation, we witness moments that define our collective conscience, and today's disgraceful actions could be one such moment. Many fear that the pastor's actions represent a broader trend of politicizing faith, a dangerous slope that could lead to further alienation and division among communities. The question remains, what message does this send to the British people who have long championed the ideals of tolerance and acceptance? Pastor Smith's decision to eject STAMMER is not merely an isolated incident. It echoes the divisive climate seen during Brexit, where ideological purity often trumped the values of unity and respect. Just as British citizens found themselves caught in a tumultuous battle over their future in Europe, so too are we now witnessing a struggle for the soul of our nation, a fight between inclusivity and exclusion, compassion and contempt. The pastor's actions could very well mark a turning point, a moment where the church, traditionally a sanctuary, transforms into a battleground for political ideologies. Public figures and analysts have weighed in heavily on this controversy. Political strategist Sarah Johnson stated, this incident could have lasting repercussions for STAMMER and the Labour Party. It's a stark reminder that in today's political climate, even the most sacred spaces are not immune to partisanship. Critics argue that this divisive act not only alienates a significant portion of the electorate but also signals a troubling shift where faith is weaponized against political opponents. This could lead to a future where fewer leaders feel safe to engage with communities that do not align with their beliefs, ultimately fracturing the very foundation of our democracy. The implications of this event extend beyond the Church and the Labour Party. It raises critical questions about the role of faith leaders in political discourse and the responsibility they bear to foster dialogue rather than discord. As we reflect on this moment, it's essential to consider the potential consequences. Will we see a rise in similar incidents, a normalization of this kind of exclusionary behavior? As many fear, if left unchecked, these actions could pave the way for more significant societal divisions and a growing culture of intolerance. This incident serves as a powerful reminder that the British people stand at a crossroads. As we confront the realities of our political landscape, we must ask ourselves, what kind of community do we want to build? The country's moral compass is at stake, and it is imperative that we reject divisive tactics that threaten to undermine our shared values. This is not just about Kier STAMMER, this is about all of us. The echoes of history remind us that societies falter when they lose sight of empathy and understanding. As we grapple with this disgraceful act, we must remember the struggles of those who came before us, who fought for equality, justice, and acceptance. It is a call to action for every citizen to stand up against exclusion, to advocate for a community where every voice is valued, and every individual is welcome, regardless of their political beliefs. As we move forward, let us not forget the lessons of this moment. The British people will not forgive those who use faith as a weapon against political leaders or anyone who dares to challenge their views. We must unite in the face of adversity and demand a return to the principles of compassion and inclusion. Join the movement. Like, subscribe, and become part of a growing community that believes in a better, more inclusive future for all. Together, we can ensure that our nation stands firm against intolerance and works towards a brighter tomorrow. This could mark a new era of influence, but only if we choose to fight for it.